seen things people wouldn't believe.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Brian at WhisperStatus74. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the channel. If this is the first time you are seeing me, please consider liking and subscribing. We are real tech for real people. Today's video will be one of our Best Buy Creeper 4K AK walkthroughs. I go in the store so you don't have to. I do far less of these videos nowadays. They've become showing you more the state of the store, the inventory versus prices, and I'll explain why in a second. I love to be able to show you what's there, and again, take you into the store with me as these stores are less and less available. You are seeing closings, you are seeing less physical media, less actual hands-on displays versus what you see on our platform. It's nice to go back into these stores and touch and see the panels for yourself versus just seeing them on videos, but that's becoming more and more rare in our modern world. As I go in though, you can definitely see that Best Buy has become more of a fulfillment center for electronics. It's also become more of an appliance store in regards to a little bit of everything, which is interesting. I understand that the Best Buy has come back in a big way in terms of their business, but not for the business that many of us love, which is gaming, movies, physical media, and TVs or high-end audio. You can see the Magnolia Centers have been kind of opened up. The lights are on. And what you see is a lot of the lower end boxed up kind of insignias, the lower end LEDs from LG, Sony, all kind of littered throughout, as well as tons of sound bars and random speakers, DJ equipment, all in the area of where the higher end TVs were. I was in the Norwalk store, which has a smaller Magnolia section, which has been pretty much kind of opened up. Again, the lights are on. It's not as dark, and in there was a Q9 800 AK and a Z9J, but they're kind of hidden, and it was predominantly more of the lower end models, and which is interesting, and it is good for anyone looking for budget brands. But what I find interesting is it looks more like a Costco or a BJ's than ever, more the way Walmart and Target have gone, which makes sense. They're very, very successful. But what I find interesting, and I'm sure it's by design, is to have the larger, more expensive, higher end models on display. And then just in front of them, where you can't really get close to the panel, you see a lot of, I always call them crystal dynamics, but you see a lot of the lower end Samsungs, LGs, and Sonys there at a larger size and a cheaper price. So I imagine the psychology behind that is, wow, those are nice. Wow, those are expensive. And then, oh, what are these? And I've also noticed there's been less pricing on the panels. There's been missing price tags. It's hard to tell what is what. Samsung at least has theirs labeled on the kiosk or on the platform, so you can see what it is. But it's interesting to see that. I wonder if they look at that and say, wow, that. Is this that? Oh, this is bigger. Oh, and this is cheaper. Let me take that. And we always have to remember, guys, when we're in these stores, that the average person looking for a TV really doesn't know what they're looking for and will grab whatever is larger and or cheaper. And remember, the taglines for a lot of the lower brands, Crystal LED, and the market speak on those is actually pretty impressive and sounds the same as the higher end. Filming in these stores has become increasingly more uncomfortable. People are more sensitive to maybe being filmed. And again, I'm a larger person walking around the store, so I think it's maybe just become more uncomfortable for me. But more importantly, there's really just not that much to show you. A lot of channels are doing these videos now, really short videos. I like to give you some context into what I see, and it's more state of the business than it is a price watch. But what I'm seeing now, again, is the higher end is kind of pushed back. The store is littered with a lot of appliances. It used to, or they've always had appliances, Circuit City, The Wiz, and Best Buy, your wash machines, things of that nature. What you're seeing now is a lot of grills. You're seing blenders, a lot of Cuisinart. You're seeing a lot of more home automation. Phones have clearly dominated in Target and Walmart. They have 3 or 4 aisles now in comparison to what they had in the past. Gaming is definitely shrunk down more to digital downloads, and you're seeing less and less physical media, obviously, but also in terms of physical media, we could do a whole video on this, is like a Walmart and Target. Instead of seeing the higher end films or you're starting to see a lot of their B level DVDs, a lot of their even random 4K Blu-rays that are there that aren't the high end, and a lot of the Blu-rays that are there are the ones that are easily available on Disney Plus and streaming platforms. So you're kind of pushed online to make those purchases. Gaming is very empty still due to the shortages of the PS5 and the Series X, but even then there's not many. So it's a very interesting thing to show you, but it's a little bit depressing being somebody who grew up in these stores. It's just the way things are going. But I wanted to say hello and let you know my thoughts on it. The TCL R646 is there. I will tell you, even though it's not in the store anymore, the kiosk is still there. We'll discuss that as the video goes on. However, I will say that when I walk into these stores, a lot of times I approach it as a consumer. That is what catches my eye. And that changes almost every time you walk in. But I'll tell you, the panel that definitely caught my eye and had the biggest wow factor of everything that was in there was the Samsung QN900A, as Samsung has definitely expanded their kiosk space. And instead of having a bunch of 65-inch panels, it's genius. What they had was all 75-inch, and then the 85-inch QN900A, which is bezel-less and absolutely stunning. That was the panel this time that really, really caught my eye. And I was blown away by it. The design, it is just very gorgeous. It's very clean. And with their brighter content, it was much more impressive looking than even the ZX that is there, and also the OLEDs. So Samsung, while we always kind of criticize them for, hey, you need Dolby Vision, you need this, I'm sure they're laughing going, we don't need anything. They're basically leading the pack, and they really know how to rock that demo material, and their presentation in store is the full range of their high end. All right, guys, enough blah, blah, blah from me, but I wanted to say hello. Hope you guys are all doing well and preparing for the holidays, and I will see you in the store. All right, guys, here we are in store. The first panel we will look at is the aforementioned TCL R646, which you can still see the kiosk here, but it is no longer available through Best Buy. It has been yanked off their site. Even the staff member who was assisting me tried to find it. It did not come up at all as sold out. It has been taken off. Now, my take on this, and we can do a video on it if you like, is it's a shame that it's been taken off the site. But I would say that if you are someone who has the panel and you are fine with it, it is a nice looking panel. It is a panel that is very popular, same with the R635, which I had, and I was very happy with it. If you're happy with it, and other than just a clunky operating system, if the panel functions and you have no issues with its picture quality, then just hold on to it. What you can do is also contact TCL directly, let them know that you have one. That way you kind of have an open case with them. That way, if there is an issue, you already have a standing case, and that way they can refer to your case number and hopefully take care of you. But if you have the panel and you're very happy with it, I would continue to enjoy it. Ignore any of it's garbage or it's got a problem. If it's just the operating system and the panel works picture quality wise, then you're happy with it, then just keep it. It's a shame because many of you were looking at this panel. If you are looking at it, you can't recommend it because you can't pick it up. We'll go back to seeing it in a second. Now, the best overall panel in this store, as you can see the way the Best Buy is laid out, is you have a ZX from LG, their 8K flagship, which in my opinion is the best panel of the last couple years, which has been about 20 or 30,000. Here, I believe it's about 20 now, on sale. But here it is, surrounded by these LG crystal displays right up against it. Now, the best in show as far as what Samsung does better than anyone is their panels are on display. All of these panels from their Q6 to the QN90A are all 75 inches. So they've expanded their spot, as well as having an 85-inch QN900A in the center, which really blows away anything in the store. Now, do I feel that it looks better than the ZX? I don't personally, but I would say walking into the store, if I was to pick one that looks better as a consumer, the QN900A is absolutely stunning by its design and really looks better than anything in the store, whether that's accurate or not. But look at it. It literally jumps off the wall, and you can actually see an 85-inch versus a 75-inch. Now, being completely bezel-less, the QN900A has a very thin but narrow profile, meaning it looks, even though it's got, obviously it's a rectangle, but it looks like it's sleeker and thinner, and it just has a very beautiful, beautiful design. Now you can see the Samsung, the frame there off to the side, which you can tell has a lower contrast ratio than the other Samsungs. So the Samsung frame is a cool product. It's mostly due to its aesthetic, is what you're paying for, is having kind of moving art, which also leaves your TV on all the time. But people are interested in it. It's there, but you can see the picture quality does not compare to the rest of Samsung's lineup. But Samsung, for me, always gets very high marks. And also you'll see the pricing here of the Samsung QN900A being out so much sooner than the Z9J, which is its direct competitor, and being a few $1,000s less is a huge difference in price. There's $54.99. I believe the Z9J is still $69.99. So it's a lot more expensive and has been out for a long time. Now remember, for us, how we view these companies, no Dolby Vision, lacking this, lacking that, the consumer doesn't view it that way. It's a known name. Samsung is the most recognizable name with displays and even phones. But look at that profile. I mean, it is literally bezel-less. It's absolutely gorgeous. Even that little bit of silver separates it from the QN800A. But when you walk by this panel, there's just that wow factor. Even next to the QN90A and the 85, it just stands above them and is the most impressive as the Samsung sign flickers up there. Now, as we jump around here, you'll also see a A90J at 55 inches, which is standalone. This particular Best Buy, you can see the back of the Z9 or the A90J, which the Master Series always has that little bit of extra muscle to the back. The A90J, they've always had these little kiosks here for Sony in front of their lineup here. And it is beautiful. The A90J is absolutely gorgeous. It's a little weird seeing such a small one here. But then this is where the store has a lot of these nano cells, a lot of, now they have X90s, which isn't in the lower end, but that's where they have a lot of them just kind of stacked in front of the higher end. And there are tons of them. Now here is the QN800A, also very impressive looking as far as its design. I do like the silver better than I like the black. I do like Samsung's center stand. Now again, even as you're looking at the pricing here, you have one price in the corner and then 5 prices to the side, which is a lot of their sound bars and random speakers. Now around back, I'm sorry, you're going to hear ambient noise. We are in my basement. Around back, you are going to see a Sony Z9J, which is off to the side. Again, the price is $7,000. It's a pretty big jump from the QN900A. The Z9J is gorgeous. We're going to go over this material quickly. You never know what is copywritten, even in store. It is very thick. Though I like the Z9J, the QN900A's design is much more, it just has a better, more exotic design. And here you have a Sony X95J. No price here. Prices are all missing, as you can see. They have an A80J price, which also isn't above this, next to the Sony X90J. Now, to me, the X90J gets a very bad rap, had that panel as well. I think what people were so critical of is that when it released, it was very expensive, as the X95 was not yet released, and the X95 took forever to come out. The X90 now is one of Sony's most popular panels, as it is very affordable. But you can see the clutter around the store. There's about a foot to walk through here, and that's kind of their design right now. Again, it's after Black Friday. It is the holidays, but you know, it is a lot of clutter, especially in front of Sony's area. Samsung's area, again, I'm sure they dictate that. They keep the panels, they keep their area clean in front of it. Now here you have all of Sony's lineup in front. I'll show you some of the panels that are there, but you're seeing the A80, the X85, the X95, and Sony does also a nice job of having their panels line up here. But the difference between Sony and Samsung is Sony will always put one of the lower end ones, especially at the largest size, to make it more practical for you to purchase. So if you're looking at an A80J above it, and then you're looking down at this X85 and you're saying, wow, but this larger panel is half the price. Again, there's no prices underneath these panels. But if you're in the store looking at the A80J, it looks almost the least impressive in this bright room. So it's very interesting how they position those to say, okay, well, you know what? This little one is really expensive, but look how bright these other ones are. And that's why demo material in bright rooms is so important. Nearly all these panels are on Vivid. LG's lineup is very ho-hum in the store. You have the C1 here in the middle at 83. You also have a smaller C1 and an A1 above it. They're very consistent. They do have some nanos to the right, but they're not QNED, the new QNED lineup. They're just nano cells. We're not going to bother showing those. They also have cartoons on them. What I need to see in these stores is more of their QNED lineup and also their G1 larger. Show that one proudly, which is a direct competitor to the A90J. So it is interesting the picks that they have, but again, guys, we're talking about they're looking to make money, and these larger panels, larger expensive panels, don't always sell. Look how much is in front of the Sony lineup in terms of 10 or 11 panels deep. And we're going over to Vizios, which we barely cover anymore. Here's the M series. And here is a G1 kind of hidden in the front. Again, no price on it, but it is a G1. I did confirm with them that it was an actual G1, but again, no price. And here is an R645 randomly in the front at 65 inches. And it's just interesting how, again, that's the open box area. Cannot recommend you buy those, but here are the grills. So going back around the state of the store, you know, looking around, you're going to see grills, different kinds of grills, kind of a Bass Pro Shop feel here, smokers, and a lot of home automation in terms of alarms. And here's your blenders. And you're seeing, yep, there's your cameras. So they've really doubled down on a lot of that. But it's hard to argue, guys. It really is about the company making money. And here I want to quickly show you, that's the level of displays, how deep. The Crystal UHD, what does that tell you? It tells you those are the panels that are selling. They have those in stock. That is why there are so many. They don't keep that inventory to not sell them, meaning they will sell out of these panels, and the higher end ones are really for us to look at and order online. To have a ZX surrounded by all these Crystal UHD is pretty interesting, but again, here they are, the UHD. These are more the brands or the levels you'll see in Costco. But that is my video showing you the state of the store. I know there's not many prices on it, but just trying to show you what the store looks like and what Best Buy is becoming to survive. Buying so much online, even the QN900A is not even available in store near me. You have to order it online. All right, guys, thank you as always. I will see you in the comments. Love you guys.